Yesterday, the national team of Denmark went ahead to obviously put out an article concerning the 4 players that obviously out of the national team because of injury, and it was confirmed that Eriksen and Rasmus Hojlund have gone ahead withdrawn from the squad, and thereafter Manchester United went ahead to offer us an injury update as far as the return date of these players is really concerned. Welcome to the United Matters channel. Hope you guys are doing fine. We've gone ahead to hit 16,000 subscribers, and it's obviously courtesy of you, and we thank you for really making us or helping us hit this mark. And I promise you that in a nick of time we'll also hit 17,000 subscribers. So guys, continue to subscribe if at all you're watching us for the very first time, and by the end of this week let's hit 16,100. Let's get in like 100 subscribers and see how it will go, and then after we'll continue to build on that to see to it that we get where we deserve to be as a side of a fun channel that does United content. Diogo Dalot has also gone ahead to withdraw from the Portuguese squad because of personal reasons, and Fabrizio Romano has come out and obviously confirmed to us what personal reasons have seen this young man leave the national team to obviously return back to Manchester. And Sir Bobby Charlton, Sir Alex Ferguson had something to say at the funeral of Sir Bobby Charlton. As a player, he managed at Man United, and did he even manage him as a player? I think he did. In the evening of the career of Sir Bobby Charlton, I think he didn't. Did he or didn't? I have to make some research about it. But they work together so much as a manager and an ambassador. Sir Bobby Charlton was an ambassador of Man United, and Sir Alex Ferguson was the manager, right? So we thank God for the gift of life. The Muslims Barakallahu Fikum, and let's start it off here. Now, the Danish national team went ahead to obviously confirmed us that Rasmus Hojlund and Christian Eriksen withdrawn from the Denmark's upcoming international duties due to injury. We knew that they couldn't obviously move to that level because they both got injuries as far as the game of Luton Town was concerned, where we went ahead to beat Luton Town by 1-0 at the Old Trafford Stadium. Then after their update, the website of United went ahead to obviously make an official statement on how long these two might be out. Eriksen is suffering from a knee injury that is expected to keep him out for around a month, with while Rasmus Hojlund is suffering from a strain. The club hopes he'll return before the end of November. Now, let's first talk Rasmus Hojlund. I told you when I brought you this news that Rasmus Hojlund is really one of those players that is pivotal to how we play the club of Man United. But I didn't want him to be hurried back, and I told you that the kind of injury that he got might see him be out for 2 weeks. And 2 weeks from Saturday, I think Saturday was 10th, 12th, right? Saturday was 11th. Yeah, Saturday was 11th. So from 11th to the 26th of November, when you're obviously going to play our game away at Everton, those are going to be 2 weeks. So with those 2 weeks, I think he'll be able to return, but I don't see him start the game of Everton. That is it. I think that's when Erik ten Hag is going to come out and obviously deploy the services of Anthony Martial, right? That's when he's going to deploy the services of Anthony Martial to start, and then maybe Rasmus Hojlund will obviously come off the bench. And I think sorry about that. If we find ourselves winning that game, there will be no reason for Erik ten Hag to obviously bring Rasmus Hojlund onto the field of play, and he'll obviously see him play a big part when you're playing against Galatasaray down in Turkey in the second last game of United in the Champions League. That has to be a must-win game. So that is something that we need to obviously understand, that Rasmus Hojlund might return in 2 weeks. So it's a huge boost for the club of Man United, and no reason to worry about him. But for Eriksen, I think last season he really got an ankle injury that kept him out for like 3 months plus. Then this season he has gone ahead to get an ankle injury, as the club is obviously confirming to us that's going to keep him out for a full month, meaning that he's expected to return towards Christmas. That is it. So, for Eriksen, I think we have lots of players that can obviously come in through and obviously do the job. And me as a person who believes in players of intensity and quality, I find this as a blessing in disguise. You know, sometimes when I see Erik ten Hag playing Eriksen and Scott McTominay in that midfield and obviously factor out results pragmatically, I'm really one of the most pissed, because I believe we're having Amrabat, who is supposed to be in that midfield, and how is he expected to become a better player? By getting him more minutes on the field of play. I don't like our team to really be hinging itself on players like Scott McTominay, you know, players like Eriksen, because Eriksen is good with the ball, but his intensity is really off. And the problems that we are facing as a club of Man United is because of the intensity and how fast, you know, these players can react to certain situations. So, with Eriksen getting injured and Casemiro out, you obviously understand that Amrabat comes into play. That is something great for me. I like to see Amrabat on that pitch. I think I want to see Kobe Menu playing alongside Amrabat. That's what I want to see. You know, I want to see that, because I believe in that those players can obviously offer us a very good midfield option. So wait and see how Ten Hag is going to react to this, because when you go to Galatasaray, you need to be having a double pivot that is really very, very, very intensive and very press resistant. And Amrabat is press resistant and Scott McTominay isn't. And you just can't really imagine how the manager is obviously trying to play us in such a way. But all I know is that favoritism is not there and is picking his team. But I would like to take a risk and see how the manager is obviously willing to let certain things happen at this club of Manchester United. And I would love to see Amrabat and Kobe Menu. That's it. I wouldn't like to see Scott. You know, people like Scott McTominay, but guys, if Scott McTominay was all that good, ask yourself, which teams do we compete with that can sign him? Can Arsenal sign Scott McTominay? No. Can Man City take Scott McTominay? No. Can Chelsea take Scott McTominay? No. Can Liverpool take Scott McTominay? No. So, if the clubs we are competing with cannot obviously get the player that we believe is good, then just get to know that player is of limited quality. Limited edition of quality that we need to get rid of and get in players that can match the levels of Manchester City. Like you see Casemiro, he can be at Man City, Varane, you know, Luke Shaw, Eriksen, Marcus Rashford, you get? So, we need to get players like you see like Garnacho's, you know, Garnacho, any team in that top 6 can obviously want to take Garnacho. That is it. Every team would love to see Garnacho play for it. So that's what we really have to do as a club of Manchester United and get that to where it deserves to be. But good to see that Rasmus Hojlund is going to return in 2 weeks. For Eriksen, a month, we can obviously pave through the way, because the games you're going to play require a lot of intensity, and Erik ten Hag would have gone ahead to obviously blindfold himself that he could obviously continue with a double pivot of Scott McTominay and Eriksen, which was not going to work out for us, you know. Because if we're going to play Everton, Galatasaray and Newcastle, you cannot rely on a double pivot of Eriksen and Scott McTominay. You need an Amrabat in the mix. That is it. So that's what we really expect in that central double pivot of Man United. It might be Scott McTominay and Amrabat into the mix, and pray to it that those two don't get really injured at the national duty. Then Diogo Dalot has left the Portuguese squad due to personal reasons. Now, when I read this story yesterday, I was really shocked and said, what is really going on with Diogo Dalot? And finally, we got to know that he is really having this. Fabrizio Romano told us that no injury, all issues for Man United. Right back Diogo Dalot told sorry about that. Told he has been withdrawn from the Portuguese squad as he and his partner are expecting a baby in the next days. Dalot will be regularly available for the upcoming games. Now, Dalot will be available for the upcoming games, right? So, Diogo Dalot has gone ahead to obviously put himself in a situation that he needs to be there when the girlfriend or wife is giving birth. It's a norm that whites do, you know. They're not only there outside the labor ward, but they're inside the labor ward, you know. David De Gea faced it rough when he obviously went ahead to see her wife give birth in Spain, and by the time he returned, the number 1 slot had been taken. But for Diogo Dalot, it's just a moment of time for him to obviously be there and witness her wife giving birth to their first child as a couple. And it's not something worrying. And I was worried and said, what personal reasons? Personal reasons. So we wait and see what is going to happen. Even Marcus Rashford, I've read the story that he's set to join the England national team later because he has some personal reasons to hand. And I think they're all about his brother who was arrested in the US, you know, for obviously assaulting someone. That is it. So that is it coming in from Diogo Dalot. Relax and float, the fans of Man United. No reason to worry about Diogo Dalot. Then Sir Alex Ferguson on the funeral of Sir Bobby Charlton. This is what he had to say. It was very somber. A wonderful tribute from his grandson. It's not easy getting up to speak. The speakers did a wonderful job. He was a fantastic man. I am at United because of Sir Bobby. From the day I came, he supported me 100% all the way in what I wanted to do in terms of youth. As I say, I'm only at Man United because of Sir Bobby Charlton. So, Sir Bobby Charlton is one of those that Sir Alex Ferguson is acknowledging for his spell at Man United, even when things never went on well, especially in his first 4 years where he never won a trophy for Man United, and they felt like he should part ways with Man United. Sir Bobby Charlton always stood in there for him and told the board, please, this is the right man for the job. Let's give him a chance and see how things are going to pan out. And that's what he obviously went ahead to do. And that's why he has only words hailing the late at the club, at the funeral of the late. So to me, it's really very important to note that players like Sir Bobby Charlton are really rare to get. They are really a rare species. We have to obviously understand that. And through understanding that, we just have to obviously give them the respect they deserve, though they've gone ahead to dance with the angels, but they're really people that we need to see to it that we take very good examples of, because they'll never stop. They'll never stop being on our hearts for the history they went ahead to obviously put up and what they've gone ahead to obviously do for the nation and the footballing world and culture at large. So he has gone ahead to leave and everything is really not okay. And it was the same mode as Fergie really said, but it's the Lord that gives us and it's the Lord that takes. May his soul rest in eternal peace, and it was laid to rest yesterday, I think, at All in Manchester. So guys, your thoughts on to Hojlund out for 2 weeks, Eriksen out for a month are welcome in the comment section below. What do you make about Diogo Dalot? Personal issues as they obviously prepare themselves to welcome the bundle of joy with her loved one. And lastly, what do you make about Sir Alex Ferguson's words at the funeral of the late United legend, that is Sir Bobby Charlton? I'm out.